Behold my servant, whom I uphold, mine elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles. He shall not cry, nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street. A bruised reed shall he not break, and the smoking flax shall he not quench. He shall bring forth judgment unto truth. He shall not fail nor be discouraged, till he have set judgment in the earth, and the isles shall wait for his law. Isaiah 42, verses 1-4. With convincing power, Paul reasoned from the Old Testament scriptures that Christ must needs have suffered and risen again from the dead. Had not Micah prophesied, "They shall smite the judge of Israel with a rod upon the cheek"? Micah 5, verse 1. And had not the promised one, through Isaiah, prophesied of himself, "I gave my back to the smiters, and my cheeks to them that plucked off the hair. I hid not my face from shame and spitting"? Isaiah 50, verse 6. Through the psalmist, Christ had foretold the treatment that he should receive from men. "I am a reproach of men, and despised of the people. All they that see me laugh me to scorn. They shoot out the lip, they shake the head, saying, He trusted on the Lord that he would deliver him. Let him deliver him, seeing he delighted in him. I may tell all my bones, they look and stare upon me. They part my garments among them, and cast lots upon my vesture. I am become a stranger unto my brethren, and an alien unto my mother's children. For the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up, and the reproaches of them that reproached thee are fallen upon me. Reproach hath broken my heart, and I am full of heaviness. And I looked for some to take pity, but there was none, and for comforters, but I found none. Psalm 22, verses 6-8, 17 and 18, Psalm 69, verses 8, 9, and 20. How unmistakably plain were Isaiah's prophecies of Christ's sufferings and death. Who hath believed our report? The prophet inquires. And to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray, we have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he openeth not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken. Isaiah 53, verses 1-8. Even the manner of his death had been shadowed forth. As the brazen serpent had been uplifted in the wilderness, so was the coming Redeemer to be lifted up, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3, verse 16. One shall say unto him, What are these wounds in thine hands? Then he shall answer, Those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. Zechariah 13, verse 6. He made his grave with the wicked, and with the rich in his death. Because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. Isaiah 53, verses 9 and 10. But he who was to suffer death at the hands of evil men was to rise again as a conqueror over sin and the grave. Under the inspiration of the Almighty, the sweet singer of Israel had testified of the glories of the resurrection morn. My flesh also, he joyously proclaimed, shall rest in hope. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, in brackets it says the grave, neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. Psalm 16, verses 9 and 10. Those who today teach unpopular truths need not be discouraged if at times they meet with no more favorable reception, even from those who claim to be Christians, than did Paul and his fellow workers from the people among whom they labored. The messengers of the cross must arm themselves with watchfulness and prayer, and move forward with faith and courage, working always in the name of Jesus. They must exalt Christ as man's mediator in the heavenly sanctuary, the one in whom all the sacrifices of the Old Testament dispensation centered, and through whose atoning sacrifice the transgressors of God's law may find peace and pardon.